Welcome to Port Charles Confidential Case Files. We follow the breadcrumbs so you don't have to.
Hey, it's Shanice with the Port Charles Confidential Case Files. Be sure to subscribe, like, and sign up for notifications. This week, the courtroom will exhale. Willow walks. Drew smiles like the storm is over. But in Port Charles, innocence is just a receipt. It proves you paid, not that you're clean. Because the real case isn't who did it, it's who gets protected while the truth is still missing. Hello, fellow sleuths. Welcome back to Port Charles Confidential. Tonight's file is simple on paper. Willow is cleared, Drew is hopeful, and everyone's ready to move on. Except one detail doesn't move. Scout. Because somehow, even after Willow's win, Drew is still going to find a way to keep Scout away from Alexis and the family. And when someone keeps a child locked behind emotional glass, that isn't love, that's leverage. Let's talk motive. No, not the shooting motive, the control motive. Drew doesn't need to win the courtroom to win the war. He just needs access, power, and a reason to punish Alexis without looking guilty. So he squeezes where it hurts. Scout. And that creates the pressure that forces Alexis to become something she doesn't want to be. Not just a grandmother, but a strategist. On Friday, we saw Trina and Kai go to Alexis. And at first glance, why go to Alexis? Wouldn't she just get it thrown out? Yes, and that's exactly why Alexis is the best bet long term. Because Alexis doesn't respond like a friend, she responds like a lawyer. She understands two things Trina and Kai don't fully control yet. Evidence can be poisoned, and people can be framed with something that looks convincing but can't stand up in court. So at first, Alexis sits on it. She doesn't act immediately, because acting too soon tips the board. And here's the next domino. Alexis does nothing with what Trina and Kai bring until Michael is charged. And once Michael's name is on paper, once there's a formal case, we're not in gossip anymore. We're in court. And that's when Alexis moves. Especially if Drew ramps up the Scout blockade even harder. No visits, no contact, no family. That's when Alexis says, okay, you want to weaponize Scout? I'm going to weaponize the only thing I have left, the truth. Or at least what gets the truth into the room. So Alexis goes to Diane quietly, strategically, because Diane will be Michael's lawyer. And this becomes Alexis's redemption lane. Not in a dramatic confession way, but in a let me fix what I can fix way. So with Tracy putting buzz in Alexis's ear, and with Kai and Trina coming forward to Alexis, she may start to genuinely believe Willow did it herself. Not as a mastermind, but as a fragmented, spiraling person who might not even fully remember. And Alexis, whether she admits it or not, doesn't want Willow around Scout, Willow's own kids, or any child within the blast radius. So Alexis tries to protect children by dismantling the frame. Now, how does Alexis help Diane? In this theory, Alexis's contribution isn't, I have the smoking gun. It's more dangerous. It's, I can help you attack what they think they have, so that Diane can challenge how the evidence was obtained, challenge the chain of custody, argue contamination and unreliability, and flip the narrative into this was meant to point at Michael. The goal isn't just win. The goal is dismissal. Because once the Michael lane collapses, everyone who celebrated Willow's innocence will realize they were cheering in the wrong courtroom. Now the risky part. If Alexis or Diane convinces Trina and Kai to come forward officially, they may need protection. So you get the immunity angle. They admit they were there. They explain why they were there to get what they needed for Trina's mother, which is already on record. They cooperate. They tell the truth. And the system offers them a deal to keep them out of jail. But there's a cost. Because now Drew sees Kai as the wrench in his machine. And Drew doesn't just get angry. He retaliates. And Kai becomes a target. So yes, Willow may walk today. But the case doesn't end when the verdict drops. It ends when the right person pays. Because in Port Charles, a dismissal doesn't mean innocence. It means someone powerful wanted the story to stop. And we don't stop. We follow the breadcrumbs so you don't miss the twist.